Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for Bitcoin. I'm going to be talking about the micro time frames. I have two primary accounts I'm tracking, one more likely than the other. But just a quick recap, off our low around 15,476. Currently have this as a wave 1 and 2. Third wave came shy of our 1.618 extension in blue. Fourth wave is right in that ideal area. We want to pivot between the 236 and the 382. Now there are ways this can extend out in time, but we'll cross those bridges when they come. But as of right now, we're respecting our pitchfork, so I'm assuming that we're resuming the trend. Now one thing to take in note, I took the length of wave 1 off of wave 4, potentially labeled complete as of now. Target at the 1-to-1 is at 107,137 if this pivot holds as a fourth wave. Now, I'm not marking that as the top of a market or anything because our third wave was not extended. What I would be looking for, say we get our 5-wave move to the upside, is actually a potential extension of our fifth, where this is a 1-2 of our fifth, and then we'd look for a third, fourth, and fifth. These tend to happen more often in crypto, extended fifth waves, and this is a very viable option because we did not get an extended third. So just keep that in mind. I'm not counting this as a top, but obviously we have to go with the 1-to-1 target in case near this top we do reject hard, right? So we have to be aware of that zone. If we drift sideways, perfect. We drop hard, might consider a short after this correction, right? Won't know till it comes, need the price action. Okay, so we're going to focus on this zone here, assuming a fourth is in. Down on the 1 hour. Okay, following two options right now. First is less likely, but I just want to show you this because you just have to be aware. Get rid of that. If we have a diagonal as our 1-2, then we're very close to completion. I think we have another kick to the upside still, but if this is the case, we have a diagonal 1-2. We have our third wave that came shy of our standard extensions at the 1.382, and our fifth wave likely to complete around the 1.618. It happens sometimes when we're still undecided in markets, and if this does happen, I expect this to at least kick up one more. We'd look for a correction of this entire 5-wave move as a wave 1 and 2. At that point, we'll look for our buy zone between the 382 and the 618. Follow this correction, try and get the ideal buy. So that's scenario 1. We're topping very soon. Now, how would you protect against that? Well, you'd want to go just with standard guidelines. I would probably not want to hold anything below the 786 of this final wave because you know if this is a wave 1 and 2 of a fifth, which I'll show you in a moment, we should hold at this zone. So if you want to protect any profit you have, I would put that just past the 786 right there in case of this happening, right? Or just hedge, which just means go short as long as you are long right now. If you're undecided, but just to be clear, these aren't our standard extensions. Standard extensions have this as a third wave. And I'll show you that option number 2, which is we have a 1-2 with a extended fifth in this wave 1, and then we have another diagonal right here. So in the 1-2-1-2, which it seems to be following better in my point of view, we have an extended third wave in blue. Target for that is 68,529. The way that pans out, you can see our second 1-2 in green. You can see the Fibonacci targets for our third wave. We hit that to a T at 65,905. We got our fourth wave, and right now working on a fifth wave in the third, which should target that 68,529. And the 1-to-1 extension of this wave 1 in green off the current wave 4 is labeled is up at 69,520. So you can see we have kind of a zone there right here, right in that area, and you'd want to focus down on the smaller time frames to try and get 5 waves out of here. Now even this count is a little bit difficult. We'll go down to the 15-minute. Remember, if you want to protect this as a potential top, just keep rising it as it goes, and probability shift right below the 618 here if we don't reach this target. So there's a couple ways to count this. Unfortunately, that's usually the way it goes. This could be a 1-2 with a flat in between, but I can also count 5 in there. That's the problem here. This is our third, clearly, of what degree I'm not sure yet, but this does look like a flat. We got a 3-wave move here, so I am expecting a kick down, make our ABC here, ideally protect this A wave, get our move. Do we come to that 69,520? That's what I'm focused on. Because the other way to count this is this can also be a wave 1 diagonal. We get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2. This is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So you can see how we won't know until we get this price action. But I am focused in on that target at 69,520. If I can count a completed correction up at that point, I'll probably hedge short for this larger fourth wave in blue. So we'll see what we get. To me right now, this looks like a flat. So I do expect some continuation here. We take our A wave, put on the 1.236, 382, invalidation above that 1.618. We don't have to come to that zone. That's just usually where we end up. And a running flat. So we can even come up a little higher. This looks like a very deep A wave. B might even need another kick up, right? If we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's an ABC rather than a WXY, we don't know. So we'll see what we get. Come up a little more, come down, get our 3. But the question is this the 5 wave and this is a flat? Wave 2, or is this a 1, 2, 1, 2? Because then we have 3, 4, 5. All right. So it's excellent to watch the charts so that you can learn this stuff in real time yourself and be aware of all those options. But say we have our top of our B wave here, we'd be targeting the 1-to-1. If that B wave is in, and we'd be looking for 5 waves here, right? WXY would be looking for 3. But we'd be targeting that zone in either one of those. Minimum requirement is the 618, where I'd consider that complete. So somewhere in this zone, I want to see a pivot if this is the B wave high. If the B wave comes a little bit higher, right in that zone, well then we'll re-pull these pivots, right? And we'll change slightly. But yeah, looking for at least one more kick up. I don't know if that's the 5th wave or a 3rd wave. We'll have to see what happens over here. If we start selling off hard, then it's probably the 5th wave. If we drift sideways, we're in a 4th wave, so we'd be looking for triangles and flats again. Okay, so I think that covers it. Just to recap, we either have a 3rd wave topping in blue soon, in which case we'd look for a 236 to the 50. If we come up here, as expected, we'd be looking for this zone for our 4th wave. And then we kick up for our 5th wave. Don't ignore this pitchfork. This pitchfork I have on just on the second one too, just to see when this is most likely complete, just the 3rd wave. So it can drift out of here and make its 5th. This is only for the 3rd wave right now, this pitchfork. So when we start drifting outside of that, I can say, okay, 3rd wave is most likely done. So we're looking for this. And once that's in, we can target the 5th wave after that. But we're looking for this, or looking for a potential top already here with one more kick up. Again, as that 3rd wave that didn't hit ideal targets at the 1.618, and the 5th hit at the 1.618. This does happen as well. All right, guys, so that's it for Bitcoin. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.